Julia Ruiz.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. Love the jackets, guys. My name is Julia Ruiz, and I'm a resident of Pflugerville, and I've been here since 1987. I'm speaking for a group of residents that are very concerned with the long-term state of our emergency services. For the past 2 years, the city has been working with Travis County ESD2 over emergency services. Unfortunately, issues were not resolved, and Travis County ESD2 stopped providing ambulance services to the city residents at the beginning of this year. Consequently, you, the City Council, was forced to engage with a private third company ambulance service to its residents. The City Council has asked the city staff to come up with a long-term plan for emergency services. Unfortunately, no long-term plan has been presented to the public. We believe that is because city management believes no easy funding mechanism is available for the city to support emergency services. So, we have come up with a plan. The first step is to petition to take back the half-cent sales tax that Travis County ESD2 is receiving. The second step will be to transfer those taxes to the city with the intent that the city will spend the taxes on emergency services. We have collected over 7,000 signatures here. This is to call an election in May of 2023 to reduce ESD sales tax allocation by ½ cent. If this proposition passes, then it will free up a ½ cent sales tax for the city to collect. We ask the City Council to please pass a ballot proposition for May 2023 election to collect that ½ cent sales tax if the voters decide to remove the ½ cent sales tax from Travis County ESD2. The ½ cent sales tax should be used to provide emergency services. The city can choose to continue to give it back to Travis County ESD2 or use it to establish its own emergency services. In any case, this should be put the city in a better position to negotiate terms for our emergency services than leaving it up to a non-elected board. Please allow our citizens to vote to fund emergency services for the city of Pflugerville. Thank you.
Thank you. Melody Ryan.
I had some
said
papers
4
passed out to you for reference. Good evening, Mayor and City Council. I have been following the ESD2 tax funding issue for 10 years now, since the first property tax overlay proposal was denied in 2013. Since researching the financial issues, I have advocated for the transition to a city-funded emergency services department. I strongly believe in the democratic principles of the right to vote and no taxation without representation. Our city tax dollars should be controlled by elected officials accountable to the voters. Our local tax dollars should be directly used to provide services to the residents of Pflugerville. I was surprised to discover that the city and ETJ have actually been contributing all of the sales tax since Wells Branch pays $0 in sales tax. You have a map that I gave. And in fact, Wells Branch provides only 13% of overall tax funding while receiving 45% of the EMS calls. You can provide better service to Pflugerville if our local taxes stay local. ESD2 quit providing ambulances to the city even though they had an $11 million net operating surplus and $34 million in unrestricted assets in 2022. We now have private ambulance service, and since the city is on our own for ambulances, Pflugerville sales tax should be used to pay for them. We are in this position because we have tried the other options. I attended ESD meetings, notified them of inaccuracies in their forecasts, requested they report their financials by department, We defeated the ESD 17 double tax, and then I applied to the ESD board to try to work with them from within, but nothing has changed. This year, ESD 2 denied us ambulance services, refused to meet, and was not willing to provide a transition plan for city EMS. ESD 2's EMS calls have decreased 43% in 2022, yet they plan no decreases in expenses or headcount. That is not responsible financial management. This petition is not about reducing funding for EMS, but rather about transferring the control of the funding to elected officials. The city and ESD2 can negotiate interlocal agreements to ensure that the residents continue to receive the emergency services we deserve, while having city financial oversight and service level agreements. ESD2 will have more incentive to negotiate in good faith and play fair if our elected officials have control of the sales tax funding. The AP Triton report provided this option to transfer the sales tax to the city to fund emergency services. City Council already has a 2 to 5 year transition plan for EMS services. The transfer of sales tax to the city allows you to fund your plan without raising city taxes. I'm here to request that City Council add a proposition to the ballot in May 2023 to add sales tax to the city if the voters reduce sales tax to the ESD2. Over 7,000 people have signed the petition because they want to change. Listen to them. This is our local taxes, and it should stay in Pflugerville. Please vote yes to Pflugerville EMS. Thank you.
Thank you very much.